call the meeting and ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to the December 29th, 2015 County Commission meeting. I would remind you to silence your cell phones. The meeting documents are in the front row next to the Argus leader. And Robert has listening devices if you need them, and he's in the front row. Thank you. With that, we'll go on to routine business. Item number 1 is a motion to consider approving the agenda. Is there a motion?
Move that motion. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 2 is approve the county commission minute meetings from December 22nd, 2015. Is there a motion?
Approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion is second. Any changes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 3 is bills to be paid in the amount of $633,913.17. Is there a motion?
Pay the bills.
Comments? Commissioner Barth?
Madam Chair, this week's bills include about $200,000 for Armor Correctional, which helps at the jail, $35,000 to Catering by Marlins, which feeds the jail. South Dakota Network had $236,000. I think that's a TIF replacement. And then we had one court case that cost us $15,000 for an outside attorney, which at $80 an hour, it's $90 an hour, shows considerable work on an outside attorney on a fairly high-profile case.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second on the bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 4 is reports. There are none. Item number 5 is personnel action. Item A is consider a motion to approve the routine personnel action. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 6 is application for abatements. There are none. Item number 7 is notices and requests. There are none. Item number 8 is planning and zoning notices. There are none. Item number 9 is petition for compromise of lien. There are none.
Yay.
And then we're on to public comment. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to the commission on anything that's not on the agenda? And seeing none, we will move on to regular business. Item number 10 is consider a motion to supplement $243,004.52 funds from various ASNs in the emergency management budget representing reimbursements from grant programs. Good
Morning, Commissioners. Linda Young, Emergency Management Office. In front of you, you have a lengthy explanation of all the funds that we've worked through this year through different grants, including Homeland Security, the Fusion Center Mass Fatality grants, and then pass-through grants from the Hospital Preparedness Program in the amount of $243,004.52. The documents are all attached. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any of those. Otherwise, I need a motion from the Commission to approve the supplement.
Okay, is there any questions for Lynn? These are
Move
all
for
grant.
approval.
A motion, is there a
Second.
second? A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 11 is authorize the chairman to sign professional services agreement between Minnehaha County and Short Elliott Hendrickson for design services in the amount of $82,356 for structure replacement number 5205104. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jason Reeves, Project Engineer with the Highway Department. As Mr. Boothie explained a little bit last week when we went over the 5-year plan, and then also we saved quite a bit of money this year and have some money left over from projects, whether it be consulting or the construction projects. This project here is for a bridge in Renner on our paved road. We want to do full design on this project in 2016 to shelf it for a future year to make sure that it's ready. This is a bridge that recently got posted with the postings that we put up late this year. So yes, with Short Elliott Hendrickson, $82,356.
Okay. Any questions for Jason on that? Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 12 is authorize the chairman to sign professional services agreements between Minnehaha County and Civil Design Incorporated for final design services in the amount of $41,500 for structural replacement 50-130-231.
Good morning again. This is for a structure that we did have in the program for 2015. Civil Design Incorporated has performed the initial type, size, and location study for this structure. It's on a gravel road just off of 41st Street, a mile east of Highway 17. I think on your sheet it's 50 or 60 cars per day. Fairly small structure, but it's one of our lower posted structures in the county right now. And it's for final design of a double 12 by 6 box culvert with Civil Design for $41,500.
Okay. Any questions for Jason? Commissioner Britt Kelly.
I assume this area will be annexed into the city within the next 10 years.
My
question is it going to be a 4-lane? Is it going to be just a regular 2-lane bridge?
This bridge would be our standard Township Road bridge, which is 30-foot wide.
Okay.
It's just off of 41st Street.
Oh, it's not on 41st?
No,
Oh.
it's less than a quarter mile off of 41st Street on 267th Avenue, I believe it is. 467th
That
Avenue.
answers my question.
Okay.
Is there a motion on this?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have a public hearing for number 13, public hearing to consider a supplement from the general fund totaling $384,717. We're too early, sorry.
Okay.
Yep. I see it's 9:15. We will move on to item number 14. Item number 14 is consider a motion to supplement $208,633.57 to the general fund to various expenditures, ASN, in the sheriff's office budget, representing reimbursement from various state and federal grants and donations, and to supplement $22,023.13 from the JAG grant fund to various expenditures, ASN, in the JAG budget, representing reimbursements from the Bryant JAG grant. Kristen. I've read
Good
it all
morning,
for you.
Kristen Trana with the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office. I am bringing to you our end-of-year budget supplements, like the agenda item says. It's $208,633.57 to the Sheriff's Office budget and the jail budget both, and then $22,023.13 to the JAG grant. The ones to the general fund, the ones to the JAG fund are the 2015 allocation and then also the 2013 interest. That has closed out the 2013 grant, so that one is completed. And then the general fund expenditures have been like reimbursements from the HIDA grant, donations we received for the Law Enforcement Explorer program, donations we received for the School Resource and DARE programs, and many of those were memorial donations from Mary LaPelt's funeral. Reimbursements from the Domestic Violence Grant for training expenses, reimbursement from ICAC training, vehicle equipment is a highway safety grant for the radar systems, and then also some PBTs. TLS range is those outside agency contributions that we receive to maintain the range. And also reimbursement from Sioux Falls Police Department, and then also the emergency management, their portion of the mobile command post. In supplies, we received some reimbursement from Brule County from the London standoff, which happened in January when we went and assisted with that, and then we also received overtime reimbursement from that. We received overtime reimbursement from the U.S. Marshal Service, Highway Safety Grant, both in the Sheriff's Office and in the jail budgets, and then and then also guard duty for outside counties from the Sheriff's Office and the jail budget, and then also some community service from early in the year. And then also we are supplementing in the SCAP grant allocation in 2015, so that way we would have that And then program supplies is electronic monitoring expenses. That is something that we didn't budget for, but we received more than that in revenue. But in order to make sure that the jail budget looks accurate, we would like to supplement that back for the expenses that are associated with that program. For the 2016 budget, we do have that in the budget, so we won't need to bring that to you next year. But
Are there questions for Kristen?
I'll make the motion to accept.
Motion, is there a
Supplements.
second? Is there a second?
I'll second. I do have a question.
I have a motion and a second. I have a question from Commissioner Barth.
So, talking about that equipment, are you talking about like the cameras and stuff? The equipment that's been in next year's budget? The body cameras or whatever for deputies? No?
we do not have any body cameras in the budget for
This budget.
2016.
Okay.
No, the program supplies is actually the electronic monitoring program that we've been doing, and we,
Scram bracelets and.
well,
that's,
it's, scram bracelets is different, sorry, to make this even more complicated, but electronic monitoring is kind of like being on house arrest in a way. Not exactly, so forgive my lack of law enforcement terminology on that, but it's something where it's GPS monitoring, and they do wear it as an ankle bracelet, but it's different with Scram, because Scram is going to detect alcohol in the system, where this is just going to monitor where this person is. And so it's something that we've been utilizing, or the judges have been utilizing, rather than like work release. So that way these people can still be out in the community and contributing to their families in the community, but we're able to keep an eye on where they're at and make sure that they're going to be where they need to be.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Item number 15 is consider a motion to rescind authorization of the purchase of one 2016 Chevy Impala from Beck Motors in Pier, and authorize the purchase of one 2016 Chevy Malibu in the amount of $18,069 from Billion Automotive in Sioux Falls from contract number 16866, competitive bid and awarded by the state of South Dakota. Kristen Strana.
So this is the one where I have to come with my tail between my legs. I apologize for this. Between the time that we started discussing whether we'd be able to find it in our budget and to request the authorization, to last week when I went to order the vehicle, GM is no longer taking orders for the Impala. The cost difference is only $697. It's not significant. We're able to purchase it here in town, don't have to deal with delivery or anything like that. And I did contact Billion, and he assured me that I'll be able to order it today. So
I'd look for a motion to rescind the authorization and approve the purchase of the new vehicle.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. We have one more minute before we can go back to the other one.
I will hurry.
Consider motion to authorize the purchase of the TASER equipment in the amount of $40,307.90 from Ed Rao Service Safety Products Incorporated from contract 15-0004, competitive bid and awarded by the City of Sioux Falls. Kristen Trana.
The only thing that I want to draw attention to is that this is going to be a 2016 purchase. This was going to be at a dollar amount that we were going to need to bid, and the city has an active bid that is good through the end of the year. So that's why I'm bringing it to you now, so that we don't have to have the additional cost of bidding. And then also the pricing is going to be better through 2015 than if we go into 2016. So it's something that we have in the budget and then also in a grant, because we, between the two of them, are working to finish this project.
Okay. Any additional questions? Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Second. A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we'll go back to the public hearing. Item number 13 is consider a supplement from the general fund totaling $384,717 to various department budgets, including the county commission, the auditors, the courts, mental illness, planning, a supplement from the highway fund totaling $10,000 to the highway intergovernmental fund, a supplement from the debt redemption fund totaling $422,780 to ASN 19880, that's a bond redemption process, refinancing proceeds, and ASN 19900, the TIF payment received.
Good morning, Commission. Bob Litz and Kim Adamson from the Audit Department downstairs. And, this is a pretty typical set of supplements that we need here, and we usually do this at the end of the year. And you've been provided with the memo for all these here. Rather than go through all those memos, I would just tell you that we would stand by to answer any questions. And then also on the mental illness one, Jim Asti is present to answer questions on that. He stuck around, so.
Do you have questions for the auditor's office on this one? Commissioner
Are
Kelly?
we talking all of them now?
All
We're
of
gonna
them.
talk about,
Yes.
I'm talking about all of them. Do you have any questions about any of them?
I'm not sure this is in order, but on the SDN TIF,
It's number 3.
It'd be item number 3 on the auditor's
Number 3
office.
on the second page. You want to just talk about the SDN payment that we're,
Yes, I will. You know, as you know, it's been going on for a number of years. Last year, or for the 13 budget, we did collect some money. They did not ask for that to be refunded. We put it in an escrow account, and this year we collected some more on it, and we finally came to an agreement. And as you can see, that amount is at $236,195. So that is the first TIF payment that we've made to them. And the total that we're going to pay them is somewhere around that $470,000 mark. And so this could conceivably be paid off and done with in a couple of years.
so this is taxpayer money that's going back to SDN as a TIF.
Yes, yes.
now,
Commissioner Kelly?
the, they have to submit expenses for the amount, right?
Yes, the qualified expenses.
The TIF, as I understand, includes all the way down to Highway 38. It's all the land they owned.
Yes, it is from Highway 38, and there's a little farm sits down there that gets flooded a lot. It's some lowland there, and then all the way from there to the interstate, and I believe it's at the half mile, the section line that runs up there. So they own 2/4 of land there.
My question is if they've completed all the stuff on their campus, are we gonna, what do you, close the TIF or is it available so that they can do a development park if they'd like to? I think in the original TIF it says something to the effect of future development. I'm just concerned that if they're done with the TIF, and they've been refunded, you know, all the money's been paid to them, why we can't close it and begin to put all that money into the regular tax rolls.
Well, that's what I believe we can. And as I said a little bit ago, Commissioner, the total amount was in that $470,000 mark. And as you can see, in 2 years, we've paid $236,000 of that.
The 470 is just the
The
TIF,
to-
but that doesn't mean it's automatic. I mean, if they don't spend 470,
Oh, well,
it closes out earlier, doesn't it?
they've already spent the money, and what we're doing is paying them back with the tax dollars. Is that?
I think we'll
I
give
see Kirsten shaking his head there. So.
Okay,
State's Attorney a chance to.
so the expenditure reports that we were waiting for from SDN Communications to pay out these funds, and that's why we have this ASN action today that's being asked for. We finally got those representations of the expenses actually paid. Over the course of these years period that are included in the collections, once they get to that actual expenditure, no matter how much was going to be set aside in the TIF, that is the limit for what they can ask for back from that. If there's additional funds above their actual expenses, that goes back to the taxing entities just as it would have been paid as regular taxes, so.
So have they submitted expenses for the entire TIF that was authorized?
My understanding is that they've submitted a report representing all expenses that they have paid out for the allowable expenses according to the agreement. And to date, only that amount has been collected toward that.
Okay.
So, Commissioner, if I may, I believe what you're getting at is once that TIF amount is paid off, will they be eligible for another TIF? And the answer is no. This TIF will be closed out, and they'll have to get another one if they want.
But sometimes they don't, how much was the original TIF for? The
It was around
475?
It was around that $470,000 mark.
Okay. And right now, we're at what?
$236,195.
Okay, but if they've done what they were gonna do with it, can't you close out the TIF? Or-
Yes, after they reach that $470,000
No,
mark.
no, that's not what I'm talking about. There's still a couple $100,000 in there.
But we owe them that money. We just haven't collected enough
we've not
money to pay it.
collected.
They've already used that money. We just owe it.
So they've already spent it.
Yes.
It hasn't been, but it hasn't been collected yet. Is that correct? Okay,
The full amount's not been collected.
okay. Thank you.
And my anticipation would be within a couple of years, I believe at this rate that we're going, that's what's gonna happen.
And at that point, it will be closed out.
Yes.
And then 100% of the taxes go to the,
Come back to the entities that will disperse them,
All right,
yes,
thank you.
including the county.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner
I
Barth?
think that Commissioner Kelly's point is that if they've completed all the improvements that they planned with the TIF, that it should be done and closed off, and that, if they have not, or if they've not billed us for them all yet, that's the issue that where we're at, so.
but I didn't understand, they have spent the 470,000
Yes.
already. It's
Yes,
just,
they built.
it's just that they haven't had enough collections there to fill out that TIF. Okay, thank
Exactly.
you. I know, it's clear now.
Are there any other questions?
If there-
The public hearing, so I would look for any other proponents on this budget supplement. Are there any opponents of the budget supplement? That being said, I would look for a motion.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second. I do have another question
I
for
have
the
a
auditor.
motion and a second to approve the supplement. Commissioner Barth?
Auditor Bob, so a number of departments are not represented in these supplements. Do we expect those departments to have additional requirements over the next few years few weeks as we close off 2015?
We believe this should be it. We've looked at the budgets, they've made their requests, and they put them forward, and that's what we're bringing to you today.
Good news, thank you.
This is the end of the year. This was the day to do it. So I have a motion and a second to approve the supplements. Any additional questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Commission.
Thank you. We will go on to item number 17. Consider bid award for the X-ray inspection system for the courthouse securities. The bids were open December 14, 2015.
Good morning, Commissioners. Robert Wilson with the Commission Office. Back in November, you authorized publication of a request for proposals for an X-ray inspection system for the courthouse courthouse security system. 4 bids were received, with cost proposals ranging from $19,100 to $27,980. The low bid was submitted by JCCY Technologies for a model at a cost of $19,100. The second lowest bid was submitted by Astrophysics for a model at a cost of $20,700. The Sheriff's Office is requesting the Commission reject the low bid and accept the bid that was proposed by Astrophysics at a cost of $20,700. That is $1,600 higher than the low bid. There are a couple of differences between the minimum standards that were explained and included in the RFP, and the product that is was submitted by the low bidder, and that is the reason for the sheriff's request. Specifically, there was a dual generator for standard and high penetration was required. The New Tech proposal included only a standard penetration generator. Astrophysics proposed a single generator, but it does include that indicates that it meets and exceeds the requirements of having the 2. The RFP also described a system that shall be multi-energy with 2 states to fully comply. The RFP also described a minimum steel penetration of 35 millimeters. New Tech only penetrated 30 millimeters, and Astrophysics penetrated 39 millimeters. Additionally, the RFP required the system support a power conditioner and an operator foot mat kit. New Tech did not comply. Astrophysics met both requirements. The RFP also called for the ability to be integrated with a motorized conveyor for future needs. New Tech did not comply with that, and Astrophysics does. Finally, the RFP described a minimum load capacity of 365 pounds. New Tech supported an amount less than that, 353 pounds, and Astrophysics met that 365-pound requirement. And for these reasons, again, the Sheriff's Office is asking that the low bid be rejected and the second lowest bidder submitted by Astrophysics be accepted and move forward with that product.
Are there any questions for Robert? Look for a motion. It's Commissioner
Madam
Barth.
Chair, I guess I'd like to ask the state's attorney if he's comfortable that bypassing the low bid on this is all right.
According to the memo submitted by the sheriff's office, there were material specifications that the low bid did not comply with. They basically didn't comply with the RFP that was sent out, and Astrophysics does in all material factors, so yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Astrophysics in the amount of $20,700. Is that your motion, Commissioner Barth?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there additional questions? Commissioner Benega?
Robert, do you know what the estimated bid amount was in the budget for this piece of equipment?
I believe this was in for 25,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Robert. Item number 18 is Minnehaha County Liaison Reports. Are there any reports? Item number 19 is new business. Is there any new business?
Go ahead,
Commissioner
Commissioner
Benega?
Benega.
Last week, Commissioner Kelly and I met with the rest of the HRC, is what I guess we could call it, where we are the general partner of the Safe Home. And one of the items that was discussed that I don't think we need a decision on today, but I'd like to give you a little bit of information, is the fact that our original investment or our loan for that project was almost $459,000. And we are charging the project, if you will, a 6% annual interest rate, which basically means we're charging it to ourselves, correct? And unfortunately, we're not getting any return of 6% with any cash investments we had. And I think one of the recommendations to consider down the road would be to take that interest cost and make prepayments, if you will, on the project to reduce the amortization schedule by about 3 years rather than making an interest payment. So I think at some point, we'd probably like a representative to talk more about that and what the exact number of months would be that would be reduced by that schedule of amortization and come up with a new loan amount.
Okay.
I think we have been making additional payments over the years too. That's down to what, 300,000, less than 300.
Yeah, right now it's $277,341.17 approximately.
So, you know, this would allow everything to go against, or more of it to go against principal, in addition to if we have a good year there, we're still looking at making additional payments.
It frankly makes no sense for us to pay ourselves when we should be reducing the amortization schedule and saving a significant amount of principal payments toward the end of the project.
What was the reason for charging yourselves a 6% interest rate?
That was, and I can go back and research this a little bit, but when we first set up the low-income housing tax credit financing program that we used to fund the construction of the project. That was a very specific loan that we had to use, and a very specific loan structure. And I want to say that it was one that we did through South Dakota Housing, and there was either a specific, very specific loan program or set of circumstances that we had to use, and that interest rate was part of that overall package that we were directed, that we really had to follow some very tight guidelines. I can go back and look into the nuts and bolts and follow up with all of you on the requirements and why that was the specific interest rate that was included in that, but it was all very, very formalized and very directed as far as the way we needed to comply, and that was a specific directive that was included within that. And I'll follow up with the specifics for all of you with more information.
Well, and I think we need to know that if we've got the ability to forgive the interest, if it puts us out of compliance with the loan, I think that's the only thing we're really concerned about.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I think the primary reason, and this is before my time, but been involved in other tax credit projects, is their main interest is to show that it's got a positive cash flow. And frankly, we've already made $100,000 in early payments, and we're scheduled to make another $30,000 at the end of this year potentially. So we'll have $130,000 in early payments, so it makes no sense for us not to continue to do that, along with saving ourselves some interest costs, if you will, by reducing the amount of the scheduled debt. I don't know that you can exceed it by too much, versus the fact that I'm guessing that the tax credit project itself probably was amortized over 15 years. So it may be a 15-year max that we'd be able to reduce the amortization schedule, but there isn't a legal issue that says we can't do that.
Commissioner
Commissioner, I appreciate this information. It's process better if I can look at something in writing, and so if we could get a memo from the staff or somebody that kind of lays out the issues and the history of this, that would be very helpful to me.
That's a good idea.
Is there any other new business?
I would just point out on another subject, beginning next week, we're going to have an agenda item on each of your meetings for the next couple of months of a legislative update of bills that have been introduced and activity at the legislature that potentially could impact Minnehaha County. I will tell you that yesterday a number of bills were introduced that came out of the interim summer study focusing on county governments. And so we're starting to go through those. Those are online now at the LRC's public web page, and they've got a list they do every year, a very comprehensive website where they list all bills. And at this point, the ones that were introduced at the request of the committee are on there, and we will follow this with a regular agenda item weekly beginning next week.
Any other new business? Commissioner Barth?
Madam Chair, as you know, Commissioner Kelly and I were out in Pierre meeting with the SDACC. And next September, our state convention of county commissioners, of counties actually, because the other elected officials come as well, will be here in Sioux Falls. Last year it was in Pierre, and the year after this it'll be in Rapid City. In any case, the thought was, the consensus there was that, maybe we can use the opportunity here to bring in folks from DC. Unlike Pierre, it's a little harder to get people to go to Pierre from Washington, DC. A little easier to get people from the state government, say Chantel Krebs or whatever, to show up at a convention in Pierre. So the hope was that we would be able to get some folks from DC and some other resources, pull them together and make this the most successful state convention ever. And I think that with the help of our staff and with the consensus of the commission, that we can make that a great convention. And if anyone has any questions or any concerns, I'd be glad to discuss them. But otherwise, I guess I'd ask for a consensus from us, unless someone has an objection. We would make this effort as a group.
I think we are moving forward. Commissioner Kelly's worked a little bit, and I've started working on it too, so I think we are moving forward. Did you want more than that?
No, I don't. I just want to make sure the staff is aware that
I think they are.
it's on our horizon, and let's make it work.
I think the staff has been involved in some of the early on discussions about ideas, so.
Well, and I think maybe what Jeff wants to know is, not to put words in your mouth, but is there any objection from any of the commissioners for us going full steam ahead on this thing with, working with the convention people, with the staff at SDACC?
No?
I think we'll keep moving forward. Is there any other new business? Is there any old business?
Well, Madam Chair,
Commissioner Barth?
this is the old year. Next year is the new year, and so I would wish everyone that's here and that's watching to have a happy new year, to be safe, and may the force be with you.
The good force.
Have that again now for the next few years.
Is there any other old business? All right, with that, I would look for a motion to adjourn into executive session for personnel. Is
That's my
that the
motion.
one? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.